Hi, this is your instructor, Phyllis Leverich. I wanted to just give you a quick response to this photo essay. The title of this one is "To Keep Our Community Beautiful." And what I would say, my first glance when looking at these, before, if like say, if I just looked at these and had not read any of the written content yet, I probably would not really think, oh, this is, that that's the theme or that that's the thesis of this photo essay, that you're trying to necessarily point out that there's some kind of city or regional problem that because it sounds like with keeping the city beautiful or keeping our place beautiful, that it's almost like we're calling on public officials to make a change, or we're calling on the public to pressure our public officials to make a change. And my first response when I look at these is, yes, it's a bunch of old buildings, and old buildings are never beautiful in the sense that new buildings are, but they do have character, and they do oftentimes make for interesting photographs. And so when I scroll over this at a glance, I guess if I didn't know any better, I would just say, oh, it's a picture of a ghost town. It's not necessarily making a judgment call one way or another. It's just, look at this town that once was, and that's that. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think, to really drive home the point, if you're talking about beautification, what you're probably wanting to play up in these photographs is the ugliness. And there are ways that you can photograph ugliness and still make a beautiful picture. And I was, trying to think about how I would ask you guys to do that. And I think that my biggest suggestion would be, get in there and zero in on some details and somehow make them seem problematic. I'm not exactly sure how you would do that, but like, let's say, for example, this one. It's probably one of the more successful as far as, okay, this is a problem, this needs to go away, because I doubt anybody likes to ever look at a burned out building. Um, you could just spend an entire afternoon. Of course, it'd be kind of dangerous. You'd want to be careful, but you could spend an entire afternoon with a hat and boots on, getting in there and taking really close-up pictures, or using a lens to get in really close. Yes, this could become dangerous, and you're trespassing, and of course it would require getting permission from the owner and all of that stuff. But with all of these being such a safe distance away, they seem more about the, to me anyway, they just seem more about the oldness. These especially, they just seem historical to me. I would love to see them restored, but I look at these and I see potential for restoration, more than I see, you know, a call for beautification. I think there's probably an inconsistency. You've got the burned building here, and you've got the graffiti here, which can also be a very, very interesting photographic subject. Looking at graffiti doesn't automatically stand for a problem for a lot of people. Graffiti tends to photograph very, very well. So, not to push that point too much, but I would say, we might have kind of, as just as far as completely fulfilling our objective, we might have missed that mark just a little bit. Now that said, I'd say, quite a few of these are nice images. I think the ones that are more urban, or the ones that are more close up, seem to have a little bit more visual interest. I think, getting kind of safely and distanced away just makes this old abandoned building look a little prettier, in a sense. So, and I think most of them could probably use a little bit more contrast. For the most part, there's a little bit of an overall grayishness to them. Um, this one's pretty nicely exposed. This one is as well. But I'd say most of them, you're kind of suffering a little bit from a blown out sky, which can be a little bit of a problem. But I'm not trying to push the point too much or anything like that, because I do think they're nice images. I think they're successful on some levels. I just don't think that they ultimately said what your title and your objective statement tells me that they said. You're getting kind of close with this one. The messed up blinds or broken windows are usually a sign of just really abandonment and decay. Wouldn't it be nice if this was more featured, and it's and not so difficult to see, and if there was more contrast in there, so maybe just finding some of those details that really symbolize waste and decay and neglect, and honing in on them a little bit, and somehow setting up your frame creatively so that you impose a mood of, so that you impose a kind of a negative mood on it. And there's like just a little bit of a kind of postcard prettiness to these, I suppose. But anyway, overall nice work, guys. I just wanted to kind of go ahead and weigh in on that. So I do think you did a nice job. So that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.